Getting back into Sam's story, and speaking of stories, I've actually got something to talk about. And I don't often get out and do stuff, lack of money, lack of time, and all that, so I don't often get out and do stuff a lot. However, last night we did do something, with last night being Halloween night. Now, what we've done before is, get the candy and, wait for kids to knock on the door, ring the doorbell. But we end up just having all the candy to eat because nobody ever rings the doorbell. So we just don't bother with that anymore. And something I came across is, because we've been to a burlesque show before, and that company was doing a Halloween-themed burlesque show. It ended up being less popular than I expected. And come to think of it, you're not going to get any of the parents in there because, parents of young children in there because they've got young children to go trick-or-treating with. It's a family thing. So you're only getting people who don't have, young dependents is people who show up there. And some people may prefer to go to a party instead, etc. But anyway, so we go out there, and so a little bit of context. We did dress up, nothing crazy, but we did go out there, and we had some last-minute prep on the costumes. My other half, when I mentioned that, it's a burlesque show, and it's got a costume contest. She's like, oh, costume contest, we have to dress up. And it's like, well, we don't have to. But it's like, no, you told me now, we have to dress up. So then it was a sudden rush to get outfits going, and she threw some stuff together. Anyway, so long story short, she sleeps in. We had some last minute prep stuff. So all I ate that day prior, and it was prior to dinner. Basically, there was a Cajun place right next door, basically. So we stopped in there, and all I'd eaten to that point was a small bowl of cereal and some cheese. She had eaten nothing. So we go to the Cajun restaurant. She's eaten nothing, and she decides, want to get some drinks. I went to go, break some big bills because at these burlesque shows, you don't have to, but you're kind of encouraged to tip. So they bring a bucket around, they throw a couple bucks in there. So went to break some big bills, and she went ahead and helped herself to order an alcoholic drink, which I figured, no problem, get the party started, right? And she got herself a hurricane. And this thing was strong. I took a sip of it, and it was strong. So that hit her belly on an empty stomach. She was drunk before the food came out. She was still drunk even at the show, and ended up having a hangover the next day off of 2 drinks. Kind of funny. Now, in fairness, a strong drink just hits your stomach with no food, so that's part of it. But anyway, talk about the show itself. It's a fun show. And as it always is. It's more, so it is sexy, yes, but it's more artsy than sexy. The first show we had gone to, and this may be a venue thing. The first show we had gone to, they, at the point where the girls, had the finale, took their tops off, they had pasties. At this show, they didn't take the tops off, but I could tell. I could tell in their action when they were going to the finale, they go to reach for the back of their top, and then didn't do anything with it. So it was probably a force of habit with the routine, and then be like, oh wait, no, I leave this on. So I'm going to give benefit of the doubt that the venue is, setting those kind of rules. But a slight disappointment. But, it's not something the girls can control, right? But it was a Halloween theme type of thing. So they come out with different themes, like the twins from The Shining. I think it was from The Shining. Daddy, come play with us. That whole thing. Then it was a clown type of girl, and the clown. So there was one girl that was really tiny compared to the others, tiny. And she did this clown routine, and as she's doing the routine thing, so we're sitting in the front, right? Of course, I'm going to shell out for closer seats so you can see better, right? She comes over and sits on my partner's lap, and has the guy across like pull the stockings off, and my girl, she's a bit drunk still, and she told me after that what was crossing her mind was, first of all, what do I do with my hands, and secondly, wow, this girl is light. But yeah, it was overall really good time. I just a overall fun performance, and for anybody who's never been to a burlesque show, I mean, it especially like a modern burlesque show is um, it's interesting. So it's a patron of the arts type of thing. Some local performers. Definitely worth checking out, in my opinion. It's a good time. It's what's funny about it is you might think, oh yeah, he's a guy. Of course he wants to see the girls undress. I mean, who wouldn't? But it's more artsy, so it's actually counterintuitive. There's more women there. Like, this is not like a strip club where it's just all dudes. This is, you know, classy, very classy performance type of thing. So a lot of women go there, and even my partner, we kind of joking around. She's like, "This is the only time you're ever allowed to look at girls' butts." So, but yeah, it's anybody's never been to one of those, and it's a good time. Good time.